And hello, everybody. Good morning, good evening, good afternoon, wherever you are joining us from. This is Dr. Dwain Woode, y'all. That's right, Wood with an E. The E stands for endocrinology. Here on the channel, we educate, we empower, and we encourage you to take charge of your health, your life, avoid complications, go to the next level. And that's right, create the life you've always wanted. We are in our Q4 winning moves show. This is a work time, actually. Work time with Dr. Dwain Woode. That's what we're calling it. But we're also using it as a time to have some education, right? So in Q4, quarter four, this last quarter of the year, sometimes we're tempted to kind of relax. You know, we've been humping it all year. We've been going at it. We've been running. We've been pushing. We've been grinding, as they say. And we're like, oh my goodness, I'm just so tired. Let me just relax. Or we've had some things in our lives, financial goals. We've had some personal goals. We've had some relational health goals, financial, all those things, all those goals. And we haven't quite made them. We haven't quite reached there yet. And so we say, oh, you know what? I'll wait till next year. I'll wait till the first quarter of next year. Things will be better. I'll be in a better situation. I'll be in a better mood. I'll be in a better whatever. But y'all, right now, the fourth quarter, man, we can make it go right now. We can make this quarter be the quarter where things happen. We still got time. And so here in this space, we've been talking about Q4 winning moves, right? Behaviors to help succeed in Q4 is what we're talking about. We've been talking about strategies for navigating the year-end sprint, y'all. That's sprint. That's what we're talking about. We're talking about sprinting. We're not talking about just slow moving. We're talking about what we're going to do to get this stuff going the way we want it to go. And so that's what we're doing here, Q4 winning moves here on the show. And I have been working on time blocking, right? So setting aside time on my schedule where I'm actually doing work. Of course, I'm doing it late at night because that's how my schedule is. It allows me to do that now. Now, I'm going to tell you, right? Let me be honest. What happened is that I had some overcommitments. That's right. I had some overcommitments tonight. And so somebody called a meeting, an unexpected meeting, and it pushed me back roughly about an hour. Well, maybe 45 minutes. Pushed me back about 45 minutes. And so the rest of my evening, right, got pushed back. And yeah, so that happens. And so, yeah, we did what we needed to do. And here I am now with you. So tonight, what I want to talk about, right? Remember, we're talking about Q4 winning moves. We're talking about strategies, behaviors to help succeed in Q4. If you've not done so, go back and watch the other things that we've talked about in the series. You'll see them all listed there. There's a playlist. It's actually called right now Q4 winning or Q4 success. I think I'm going to just rename it with the name of the series, but that's a whole nother story. You can find it there on the channel. Okay. You can link from this video. But tonight, what we want to talk about is financial end of year financial planning, because all the things that we've been talking about are with the intention of being successful in Q4, and as we prepare ourselves to be successful in the first quarter of next year, right? And you'll see there, as we enter the final stretch of the year, it's time to sharpen our financial acumen and make strategic moves to secure a strong financial future, right? A strong financial future. So just like we talked about health, our physical health last night, tonight we're going to start talking about our financial health. And what do we need to do? What do we need to do to be financially healthy? Okay? That's what we're going through as we continue in this amazing series. And then we're going to do some work here after we get through some of this information. So let's hop over and let's go ahead and do it. So the first thing we want to do is we want to assess our financial health and set some goals, right? So assess. In anything that you're going to do, if you are going to be successful, if we're going to be successful in Q4, any space, we want to make sure that we're assessing. So where are we? Because if we don't know where we are, then we don't know where we have to go. And we don't know how far the distance is between the two. Okay? So we want to make sure that we are assessing. And in terms of our financial health, there are some specific things that we want to do, right? We want to review our income. That is, how much money, if you're talking about your home, how much money are we bringing in? If you're in a business, what are those bottom lines, right? How much is coming in the door? How much product are we selling? How many customers are we seeing? How many clients are we servicing? How many homes are we selling if you're in the real estate business? How many properties, right? If you're in the market for, well, not market, but if you are an artist and you've been, painting and you've been drawing, you've been designing, whatever you do, and you've been doing that all year, where are you? Right? So how much income do we have? How much money's coming in the door? How much money is going in the bank? Because that's the first thing we want to know. Number two, we want to assess our expenses. We want to assess our expenses. All right. So what comes in minus what we have to use to run all this stuff. Okay. In our practice, I have a medical practice. So what do I have to do? What are the expenses that we have? We've got team members we've got to pay. We've got rent. We've got supplies that we've got to buy, right? So all of those things, we've got the billing folks that we've got to pay. So all of that, those are our expenses, right? Our operating expenses for the business, for the, the startup, the whatever, wherever you are, right? The entity, what are the expenses of that entity? In your home, what are the expenses, right? So if you got a family, you got to pay gas, you got to maintain the car, you got to pay a house note or rent, or you got to pay rent, right? You have to buy food, you have to pay utilities. So what are the expenses that we have? So what's our income? What's our expenses? How much debt do we have? Yep. How much debt do we have? Right. Who do we owe? Did you just add a sunroom to the back of the house? Did you have to do a new air conditioning unit? Did you have to buy a new car? Did you have to change the tires? Did you have whatever you have to do? If something is owed, what are the debts that you have? And then, of course, what are the assets? What are the tangible things or intangible assets that you may have? Okay. And what are those worth? And we want to put that on. And when I was in college, I started taking some accounting, and I hated that balance sheet. Right? Oh my God, I don't want to do that. Yeah, but you gotta do it. Okay. We want to make sure that we do that. So what's our income? What's our expense? How much debt do we have? How many assets do we have? And that tells me where I am, right? Financially. And we'll talk a little bit more here in a little bit about breaking some of that down. Okay. And then we want to set some year-end financial goals. Once we know where we are, we're going to say, okay, where are we heading? What are our projections? What are the things that we want to do? Right? We want to have some specific saving goals. Some specific debt reduction. Well, let's go back to savings. So how much are we planning to save? How much do we need? What are the different categories of savings? Right? So we've got a business, we got a practice. So in the practice, we have some saving goals. In our home, we have some saving goals. Personally, right, I have some saving goals, some things that I'm planning to do. Right? So we're putting some money away for that. How do we go about reducing our debt? So debt reduction, there has to be a strategy for that. It just can't be something, oh yeah, we'll do part of that, we'll do some of that, we'll do this there, we'll do it. No, we got to have a strategy. What's my debt reduction strategy? And then I'm saving, I'm reducing debt, but am I making some investments? What is my plan for the future? Right? Not just for next month or next year, but into the future. Am I providing for the family? Am I providing for the business? Is the business being strategic? And down at the bottom there, you see Q4 building blocks of long-term financial health and prosperity. That's what we're talking about, right? Financial health and prosperity. And then after we've assessed our financial health and set some goals, right? So that's the overview of what we need to do. So now let's take a look at some strategies for financial success, some strategies, right? Number one, some tax preparation strategies. It's coming to the end of the year. Have I maximized my retirement contributions? Okay. You don't want time to go by. You're like, oh my gosh, I would have done that. I should have done that, but the date is gone. Right. And down you see, we'll talk about getting some financial help, but you need to know some of those dates. When do I need to do these things? When do I have to have that money in? When do I have to make that deposit? When do I have to create that account? Right? Have you maximized your retirement contributions? Have you put everything you can put into that Roth? And then have you put into regular IRAs? And then have you maximized what your job matches? Right? So all of those things have you done. And then once you've done some of those things, and once again, I'm not a financial advisor, but after you've done those things, have you put money into some of the different money markets, some of the stocks and bonds and all those things that you have? Have you done that in a way that is strategic for you? Are you leveraging deductions? Yeah. Right? So there are deductions that you could take off for your business, for your home. Are you maximizing those? Are you leveraging them to your benefit? And then are you considering charitable giving? Because once again, that can be a tax write-off. That could be a break for you, right? A place where you can leverage the fact that you're contributing anyway, right? You were going to contribute. Well, hey, which charity, which organization can you contribute to and also get the tax benefit? And then, right, are you budgeting? You want to have some budget and expense management. If you don't have a budget, then your money is just doing whatever it wants. Mm-hmm. Right? That dollar that you buy, that you get, that you earn, it's just deciding on its own what's going to happen if you don't have a budget. So you want to create a Q4 budget, right? This quarter. Okay, what's my budget for this quarter? Right? We're in October. What's today? Today is the 17th, right? So we got another half a month going here. Then we've got November, we got December. So what's your Q4 budget? You want to track those expenses. Where are those dollars going? Right? You tell them where they want to go, where you want them to go. Don't let them just go wherever they want. And then avoid overspending. Now I have to tell you, this is one that I've got to be very careful of, right? Because, I love my toys. Well, sorry, I love my equipment, my needed equipment. Right? I call them needed equipment. But I love them. I love the things that I get to use, like all the stuff that let me go. I'm gonna show you back here, right? So this is where I'm sitting right now, right? And I love being in here, and I'm always saying, okay, what other things can I get? What can I get over here? I need some stuff over on this side, by the way. Right? There's some things I've got my eye on. Okay. So are you budgeting? Create a Q4 budget. Track the expenses. Avoid overspending. Right. So there's some things I want. I've not gotten them yet. I'm waiting for some of those sales. All right. And then review your investments and your portfolio. Have you done, like I said, all the things you need to do? Have you contributed to that Roth? Do I need to rebalance my portfolio? Do I need to be less risky in this area, take a little bit more risk in this area? Right? Assess your risk tolerance. Make informed investment decisions. Right? Sit down with your financial advisor and have some conversations about where you need to be, what you need to do. What's not on here, is insurance. Have you maximized all the insurance that you can get and that you need to protect the family? All right. And here's a good one. Let me just add this here. It's not what I was planning to talk about, but if you are if you had chronic illnesses, make sure that you are managing those, because that will help with the insurance. Okay, particularly if you're diabetic or have heart disease and those types of things. All right. Right. So you want to make sure that you are reviewing those investments. Then what we want, well, let me back up here. Right. So secure your financial future. Secure your financial future. And this has to do with the planning, right? The retirement planning, contributing to those retirement accounts and reviewing your retirement goals. How much time do you have before you retire? How much are you planning to live on? How much do you need to live? And then what do I need to do? How much do I need to contribute in what mixture of investments and in places, in vehicles, so that I can achieve that goal at the time that I plan? Are you planning to retire at 62, 65? Right? Both of you are retiring at the same time. What do you plan to do? Are you going to travel? Are you going to downsize the house? Whatever you're going to do, right? Are you making allowances for all of those? And that debt management. Pay off high interest debt. Now, let me say that there are lots of different strategies that people will tell you. Okay. I listened to a particular person that really helped me and my family as we were coming through, as we were coming on. And so as a result, we don't have the amount of debt that we could have had. Right? Maybe one day I'll talk about him and how that happened in our lives. Right? So pay off your debt. Right? Consolidate loans if you need to. Right, and there's a whole strategy that could be a whole conversation. I need to get someone on who can have that kind of conversation with us. I've got a couple of people in mind. Okay, do you have an emergency fund and savings? Most things cause a bigger impact in our lives financially because we don't have emergency funds. We don't have money that's put away for an emergency. So, the car needs new tires, and that becomes an emergency for us because we didn't plan for it. Right? That's not an emergency. You knew that the car is going to need tires, so begin saving for that. Right? You knew that Johnny's going to need some new shoes because he's growing. Plan for that. So the emergency fund is emergency, something unexpected that you did not expect happened. You know that Christmas is coming around every year at the same time. So that's not an emergency. So all year you should be planning. I know people who, in summer they're buying Christmas stuff and they're putting it in the closet, hiding it from the kids, and then they bring it out, right? So plan for those. But an emergency fund, do you have some money that you're putting away in case COVID happens? Whoa, right? So that caught a lot of us by surprise, right? Or somebody in the family gets sick, right? So there are small emergency funds and there are big emergency funds, right? So small emergency funds, $1,000. Most things that happen in your life, most of those small things cost $1,000 or less. You need some tires, $1,000 or less. Right? You need some shoes, $1,000 or less. You need a new backpack. You need a new TV. Well, that's not an emergency. So, but you get the idea. $1,000. That's a small one. And then, how much do you need to live on how much money how much operating expense does it take to run your home, run your business for a month? Right. So now we're talking about, okay, so we got the $1,000 and now we're working on that big emergency fund. Now, the big emergency fund should not be the thing that you're working on first, by the way. Right. You should get that small emergency fund in place, $1,000 or if you're in a business, you'll have to evaluate what that looks like for the business. What's the emergency fund for the business? Right, the immediate where we can just go say, hey, we need this amount of money, and we got it. And then, right, you've invested, you've paid down your debt. And now we've got a bigger emergency fund, right? So operating expenses for a month. All right, hold on a second. Okay, that's another conversation. And then, all right, financial reviews and consultations. So this is what I say, hey, you need to have some financial person in your life who knows finances, who's helping you. Okay, shouldn't be doing this all by yourself. All right, and then celebrate your milestones, y'all. We've been saving, we've been humping, we've been skimping, we've been thising, right, all year. Acknowledge the financial milestones that you've achieved this year. Woo! Let me give you some hand caps. And well, that's not what I'm saying. Let me see. Hold on. Let's see. Here we are. So I'm gonna get out my hand claps. There we go. All right, and along with those, why don't we do some, here we go, here's some celebration. Right? So are you celebrating your wins? Celebrating your wins. You got to. Because if you don't, right, then things get crazy, right? Things get crazy if you're not celebrating those wins. Get those over there. So make sure that you are doing that. And when you celebrate wins, they can inspire continued positive financial behavior. It's like, oh man, I've been grinding all the time. I'm not seeing any benefit. You know, wins, when we celebrate wins, it helps us. Right? You lose that first 5 pounds, guess what? Man, you're motivated. As a matter of fact, you lose that first 2 or 3 pounds, you're motivated to keep going. If you have a financial savings goal, when you get that first $100, $200, $1,000, $5,000, whatever it is, right? And that's relative. That's why I go through all of those, right? Because for some people, $5,000 is just, yeah, okay, boom, let's do it. But if you struggle and you save that first $100, guess what? You're motivated. You're like, yeah, I can do this, right? So reflect on your financial journey during these celebrations. Where have you come from? What have you learned in the process? Right? Because you're different. You're a different person right now than you were. And then share those success stories, because there are some people just like you who need to hear what it is that you learned. Right? So we're talking about Q4 winning moves, Q4 building blocks of long-term financial health and prosperity. That's what we're talking about right now. And then, so here are some key financial health, right? Keys to financial health. So keys to financial health, just a checklist, right? Number 1, budget review. Have you reviewed your budget? Where's my money going? Debt check. What debts do I have? Am I saving? Do I have my emergency fund? Am I doing a good job of putting things away? We got a financial advice. Go get somebody to help you sit down and say, okay, this is what, have them help you make decisions. Insurance coverage. There's that one I was talking about. Do you have enough insurance? Do you have life insurance? And you should have car insurance. You should have home insurance. You should, right? So you should have all of those, because if something happens, right, that becomes an emergency if you don't have the appropriate insurance. And then, are you doing appropriate retirement planning, y'all? Are you doing appropriate retirement planning? Make sure that you are doing that with that financial advisor. Are you using all the vehicles that you have access to? A lot of us would get a lot of money into retirement vehicles if we would go to our job and find out what their matching policy is. Some jobs will match up to 3%, 4%, 5%. I don't know. Right? But that's money that we're just giving away. Of course, make sure that you're maximizing all of the other things that are available to you before you get there, right? So that, and I'm not even going to go through some of those. All right. So end of year financial planning, end of year financial planning, behaviors to help us succeed in Q4. That is what we've been talking about, right? That's what we've been talking about. Strategies for navigating the year-end sprint to success. And we want to be successful, y'all, right? We want to be successful. And Q4 is a perfect time for us to do that. So regularly assessing and adjusting the things that we talked about, the aspects that we just went through, will help secure your financial future and ensure you're on the path to achieving your financial goals in Q4 of this year. And as we get into the new year, that you're setting yourself up for success. Yep. That's right, y'all. That's right. So that is what I want to share with you tonight. And now, I'm going to hop over and we're going to start doing some work. Got my little dude here that's going to hang out with us for a little bit and just going to have a good time, everybody, because it's time to work. We're doing this time blocking. Remember, as we are moving into Q4, we're setting up some habits. That we want to take with us, not just as we get through the rest of this quarter, but also as we get into the new year. So I'm going to go ahead. I'm going to mute. I've got some things I'm going to be working on. And I've got a couple of shorts that I need to do. I'm working on my blog for Friday, which comes out on Friday. I have my podcast, and I'm not going to edit that right now because it's going to eat up some space or eat up some of my resources. But that's going to be happening here over the next couple of days. And then also have coming back on here and looking into the future. So Thursday night through Sunday, or Thursday through Saturday, we won't be here. We've got some other things that we're doing with the family. And so once again, we're blocking. So prepare for that. You need to get your stuff together. And even though I may not be here, you can go back and watch some of the shows that we did. You can use that same time to begin working. And then when we come back, several days from now, and we'll talk more of that as we get into the next couple of days. Okay. All right. So right now, let's go ahead and we're going to mute. And I have to work on getting us some music. Some people said they liked the music that we did yesterday. So let's see what we got tonight. What about? Let's see.
About to leave, already packing. Come with me, I'm not really asking. We'll get away to a place where we don't know. About to see the world in action, what we can be, life with no distractions. We'll get away, this is what we waited for. Take my hand, we'll make it somehow. We can't miss out. I'm done living life
All right, all right. Hopefully you are getting some work done. I am. I'm getting some things done, and like I said, working on my blog for which is coming out this Friday. I got a couple of shorts that I'm going to do. Actually, when I get off here, I'm going to work on those. Right now, I'm going to finish up most of this blog, or get 75% of the way done, and then I'll have to finish that up over the next couple of days, so it'll be ready to go out on Friday. So that's part of what I'm working on right now. Okay, so let's get back to mute. Get to you some music, hopefully.
Take a real close look now. Soon you'll realize you don't know what's coming down. I got you hypnotized. Take a real close look now. I'm going to show you how. I'm about to get down. So keep it up right now. So keep it up. So keep it up with me. I need to move. I need to feel the beat. Don't be a fool. You wanna hang with me. Life isn't easy. You gotta roll the dice. You wanna change. Join the paradise. So bring it on if you wanna hang with me. Alright. You know I know we kick it like no one else. We kick it like no one else. Listen out, there ain't nothing like this. You know I know we kick it like no one else. We kick it like no one else. Listen out, there ain't nothing like this. Take a real close look now. Baby, I'm versatile. Watch me when I come down. I make it worth a while. Take a real close look now. I'm gonna show you how. I'm about to get down. So keep it up right now. So keep it up. So keep it up with me. I need to move. I need to feel the beat. Don't be a fool. You wanna hang with me. Life isn't easy. You gotta roll the dice. You wanna change. Join the paradise. So bring it on if you wanna hang with me. You know I know we kick it like no one else. We kick it like no one else. Listen out, there ain't nothing like this. You know I know we kick it like no one else. We kick it like no one else. Listen out, there ain't nothing like this. You know I know we kick it like no one else. We kick it like no one else. Listen out, there ain't nothing like this. You know I know we kick it like no one else. We kick it like no one else. Listen out, there ain't nothing like this. Ooh, I know, you know, we kick it like no one else.
About to leave, already packing. Come with me, I'm not really asking. We'll get away to a place where we don't know. About to see the world in action, what we can be. Life with no distractions, we'll get away. This is what we waited for. Take my hand, we'll make it somehow. We can't miss out. I'm done living life with the lights out. Die
All right, all right. So I am back, y'all, and yeah, and just like that, time flies when you're having fun, when you're doing some work. So Q4, y'all, Q4 is here, and we could sit back and we could say, hey, we're taking a break because we've been working for a while. But that's not what we're doing, right? We are planning to continue. We're planning to dig in. I'm digging in. I'm spending time. I'm taking the time right now. I'm doing work. I'm blocking. I'm learning. I'm looking for success in Q4. I've got some goals, and over the next couple of weeks, I'll share some of that more and more with you, so you can see where I am, what I've been doing. And as I head into the end of the year, I'm looking for some success. I'm looking for some strategies to help me be successful. And that's what we've been doing here. And then, of course, just spending some time getting some work done. So if you're out there, if you like what we're doing, go ahead and join us, right? That's the first thing. I want you to come join us because I want you to have some of that success as well. Spend time here, get your work together, gather the tools that you need to get some of the things done. Go back and watch. This is episode number 12. Right, go back and watch the episodes that we've done over the last 2 weeks, and catch up to where we are. Okay, you may not have time to do all of that. Right, pick and choose. You can go in there and you can see the things that we've done. Use this as an opportunity to get back on the horse. Right, because this is a ready-made place. This is a time that's already set aside for this purpose, for this to be done. Okay, so make sure that you get out there and make sure that you do that. If you remember, we have our my newest offering, my newest fun thing that I have done is the course that we have that's out there for you if you are in the spot. Let me say, if you're in the spot where you're tired, you're feeling tired, physically tired, you've got a chronic illness, a chronic disease, you have high blood sugars, you're struggling to control your diabetes, you're struggling with your weight, you're not sure how to get that improved. If you have autoimmune diseases, right, that are exacerbated by inflammation, right? That's what a lot of our current diseases are. Then you want to get over and you want to look at our the newest course that I have that's out there, and it's called Unmasking the Sweet Truth About Sugar. You can't have a conversation about disease. You can't have a conversation about chronic disease without sugar coming into play. And so I have put together an online course that you can get into. The course is self-paced. What do I mean? That means you work on it on your own, at your own pace. Right? There's a workbook that comes with it, with exercises that you do along with the videos to help you begin taking charge of your health, helping you evaluate your diet, evaluate where you are, evaluate your health, right? Look at the things around you in your environment to make sure that you are not doing things that are eating things that are going to contribute to worsening of the chronic disease or push you into developing a chronic disease. The current early bird special is there. It's ending, and you see the countdown there. 1 hour, 23 minutes, 1 day, 23 hours, 34 minutes, and 3 seconds. And it's going, right? So it's simple. It's fun to go through the course. It's not a lot of technical detail, right? Just things that you need to be able to be successful, right? Once again, you learn at your own pace, right? Avoid the sugar traps. Deal with chronic illness. See the connection between that and right? So big thing, everybody, as we get into the end of the year, everybody's talking about weight. Everybody talking about managing weight, and a lot of people are going to be buying treadmills, and they're going to be joining gyms, and they're going to be getting personal trainers. But a big thing that you do to begin contributing to the improvement of your health is to control the sugar in your diet, which causes inflammation. So make sure you get out there, and it's called Unmasking the Sweet Truth About Sugar. You can sign up for that course. Also on our website, right? You may need some additional help, somebody to come alongside and help you as you are delving into, right? You may need some additional support. And on the website, you can go there and you will see our next level coaching program. And I call it Coaching Beyond the Disease. Right? Coaching beyond the disease, because a lot of times that's what you need. Somebody to be a little bit more specific, you and say, hey, this is how I think we should move. And that you can do that on the website, of course. I do want to encourage you also, if you've not done so, if you've not had a chance to get over to our our YouTube channel, get over there and you will see all of the videos that we've done on taking care of our health. Of course, all the things that we're doing right now in our Q4 Success series, right? Those videos are all there. You'll see last night we talked about the vegetarian diet. Last week we talked about a whole bunch of other diets. We talked about the paleo diet, the Mediterranean diet, the low carb diet, the ketogenic diet. We talked about intermittent fasting, right? So that video is out there as well. Make sure you get over. And then we talked about how to read labels, decoding the labels that you see in stores, right? We're talking about the war for your health. So all those series are out there. Make sure you get over there and that you take a charge of your health, because it is so important. We've got two valuable assets. They are time and health, y'all. So we want to make sure that we're spending our time wisely and that we are doing the things that we need to do for our health. Yes. All right. And so, man, I am just so excited that I was able to spend time with you tonight. Thank you for coming by. Thank you for being with us. I think, did I mute? Nope, I didn't. Okay, there we go. Thank you for coming by. Thank you for being here. And I look forward to seeing you tomorrow night at our work time. That's right, work time with Dr. Dwain Woode. That's what we're calling it. And we're working on Q4 success, right? Behaviors to help succeed in Q4. Strategies for navigating the year-end sprint, right? The year-end sprint to success. Because we're not walking, right? We are sprinting, and I want to be part of that process with you. So thank you for being here. I will see you tomorrow at our work time. Good night, everybody.